guard. It's a shame.
Fortunately, these cuts are superficial, so they won't need stitching.
Why did you do this to yourself, Moira? She had his baby. He told me how much he loved her. And that if she hadn't died, he'd have left me. I couldn't bear it.
Where are the contact details I asked you for? I need to speak to the partners urgently to find out what's happened to this locum, as I currently have no idea when they intend to return.
Sorry, I've filed them somewhere. Only it's been bedlamy with doctors going missing, people dying.
And charity fashion shows. It's obvious where your loyalties lie, Lizzie. And they don't seem to be with this hospital.
Was that really necessary?
Seeing as the chaos within Lizzie's brain seems to be reflected in her filing, I rather suspect it was.
All I wanted was for the pain to go away.
I've left you a sleeping tablet. Take that and I'll try and get as much rest as you can. Okay?
I thought he loved me, Doctor. Well, look, I'll pop back and see you in the morning and we can have a talk then. Would you like that?
It wasn't a serious attempt on her life, but she has had a terrible shock. She needs reassurance, affection. I'll do my best.
Better late than never, I suppose.
Jill. You know where we are if you need us.
Thank you, doctors.
Paul, look what he's driven her to. Look what he did to Moira, and he has the gall to stand there and look like he's concerned.
Oh, I think we could both do with a drink, don't you?
Doctors, I'm really worried about my mother.
Ruby, I think...
He said, because my mum was what she was, nobody would believe me. That they'd all say I led him on. That it'd be my fault.
What would be your fault, Ruby?
He tells his wife he's giving me extra schoolwork. Nobody's allowed to disturb us. He comes into my room at night. Tells me I have to be quiet so nobody knows, but how could she not know? I tried to tell her once, but she sent me flying.
So, you started a fire?
To scare me to leave me alone. But he wouldn't let me go. By the time I got away, the fire had closed off. Linda got scared, called the fire brigade.
And you're talking about Mr. Wemby?
He said, if I wouldn't let him do it to me, he'd do the same thing to my sister. And now he's taken her and I'm stuck here, I can't help her.
What do you have?
He's gonna be so angry, I'm told.
You can leave him to me.
And Nana already hates me.
Ruby, this isn't your fault. None of it is. All those things he said to you about what people would think, I don't believe them. And neither will anyone else. You've been very brave telling me what's happened to you.
So I'm not in trouble.
Not at all. You're safe here. He can't get you here. You don't have to worry any longer, okay?
The desk sergeant said he'd pass on my concerns and the matter would be investigated in due course.
You don't think she's maybe manipulating you?
No, I'd stake my life on it and nobody seems to want to do anything about it. I'll contact the child protection officer in the morning, but in the meantime, I'm going to need your support here, matron. Do I have it?
Plotting some kind of coup, are we, Alice?
Mr. Rose, I'll need to borrow your car.
Sure, let's do this.
Miss McAtee will have a fit. Yes, you have my permission. That's all you need, okay? Linda, you're going to have to trust me now. You can't stay here any longer. I want all of you to grab your things and come with us to the hospital right away, okay?
Come on.
Doctor, how can I help you?
I'm calling the police.
I suggest you ask your husband a few questions first, like why Ruby started the fire and who fathered the baby she just lost.
The girl's a slut and a liar, just like her mother.
Linda, you're coming with me.
Doctor? You were right. Your mother will need to see a specialist and undergo further tests, but I've explained to her that it's more than likely that she's in the preliminary stages of Parkinson's disease. I noticed your hand tremor and you seemed so distant and blank. Before nothing could keep you quiet.
What does it all mean, Doctor?
Well, there are drugs that can alleviate the symptoms, but it's difficult to know how quickly or slowly it might progress.
But it will progress. Mummy, I'm so sorry. I can't take this in. Not all at once. Will I end up in a wheelchair? Or in bed? What'll happen to me? And the baby. How can I look after her when I can't look after myself?
Alan, will you fetch the spare mattresses and linen?
Right you are, Matron.
Sorry, we have been rather inundated.
Oh, not at all. I contacted the Chief Constable as a matter of urgency. They'll be sending a couple of men straight away. I'm afraid Mr. Wenby has already made a complaint.
Oh, he's going to deny everything. We know that. Claims she's disturbed, disruptive, probably malicious.
I telephoned the charity. There'll be someone here from London first thing tomorrow to investigate.
Bravo, dear boy. There are times when the nettle has to be firmly grasped for the greater good, and grasp it you well and truly have done.
Thank you, Mr. Rose.
What's the swarm of children doing here?
It's a temporary measure, Miss McAteer.
Sudden outbreak of gastroenteritis. The strain is virulent and contagious.
So, if you don't mind, we do have work to do.
She can't take care of a baby. Not now. What kind of God would strike her down like this, eh? How much more does he need her to suffer? And Moira, she never had a chance at life before it was snatched away from her. The God I love wouldn't turn on his children like this, would he?
I'll check in with you later, okay?
Hark at the man who never gets involved.
Never say never, eh?
And I know you said never about tonight, but there's a spare ticket going and I won't take no for an answer.
Okay. Doesn't look like I've got a choice.
I saw him first. He is seriously cute. So, it's handbags at dawn. And I know just the way to catch his eye.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your delight and delectation, a bevy of hospital beauties will parade the latest fashions of the day. So forget about Carnaby Street and Tweed.
I'm so nervous. Me too. What, well, you did this for a living? Actually, the modelling.
Please remember why we are
I don't have a clue I never was one.
We were relying on you to take the lead.
But it was in the paper you won the prize. Then we found out my dad was ill. Me and my mum looked after him. He died 6 months ago. They rang the agency, but they gave me place as a runner-up, so that was that. Come on, girls. Listen, love, you might not be at the big time in Leeds, but you can be our star tonight. Come on. get out there and knock up the sticks.
Let's hear it for our nurses, who don't just save lives, but are angels amongst men.
Every day I treat patients who don't deserve what's happened to them. And it's difficult sometimes to see how that suffering could be God's will. But I pray and I understand. Or I thought I did. Till now.
Well, it's late. You're emotional. Upset.
Years ago, I renounced my own flesh and blood when I joined the Order. And now my flesh and blood need me. Who'll help them if I don't? How can I serve God better if I leave them to struggle? Sister, your faith is your life. I mean, you don't need us to tell you that. How can I betray my family? Even if it costs me my immortal soul, I'm going to have to leave the sisters and come home.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce Alan and his rhythm combo with guest vocalist, Miss Lizzie Hopker.
You can sing this set backwards.
Your XB. This one is for our friend Moira. What would you do if I sang out in June? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song. I will try not to sing out of me. Oh baby, I get by.
Glad to see you supporting our event, Doctor.
Careful if back to Ashley at the end of the evening.
No need, Mr. Rose. Lizzie booked me into the Crown. I thought I'd look in on Ruby later tonight. And first thing tomorrow before she goes into the theatre.
Not getting too attached, are we, Alice?
Me, Mr. Rose?
Come on, Doctor. You promised us both a dance.
You know, Mr. Rose, I think you were right. Small is beautiful after all.
Me first. It's a slow one. Carol Nip.
I think your young man is a hit, Mr. Rose.
No. How do I feel by the end of the day? Are you sad 'cause you're on your own? Hope you don't say it no more. Gotta get by with my friends.
Chaos. Never changes this place.
She's drunk.